Now, of course, one of the big unfortunate pieces of news that have come out, as far as it relates to our little movie and TV loving world, one of the real unfortunate pieces of news that have come out as a result of the pandemic and everything is, of course, the fact that Comic-Con got canceled, which really sucks. You know, and Ann and I just had our 10th wedding anniversary this past weekend. We decided to go to San Diego. We actually went and stood at Hall H. We did. I even got pictures I'll show to you. We went and stood in line at Hall H just to pretend like, you know, Comic-Con was going on. It's something I look forward to every year, and it's not there. And one of the repercussions of that is the studios will often use Comic-Con as their time and place to reveal big announcements, new trailers, bring out the casts and the creators of the shows so the fans can interact with them and all that sort of stuff. And that's obviously not going to be a part of it. Now, Comic-Con has announced that they are doing a virtual Comic-Con that will be done online, but we all knew that's not really going to be the same. Well, apparently, one company that's really taking this whole virtual thing to heart is DC. And Warner Brothers DC is going to be putting on their own big virtual con that they are calling DC Fandom. And at this DC Fandom, which will all be held virtually and online, you can go to it. They're going to have casts and creators hearing announcements about Aquaman, the Batman, Batwoman, Black Adam, Black Lightning, DC Superhero Girls, DC Legends of Tomorrow, DC Stargirl, Doom Patrol, The Flash, Harley Quinn, Lucifer, Pennyworth, Shazam, The Suicide Squad, Supergirl, Superman and Lois, Teen Titans Go, Titans, Watchmen, Wonder Woman 84, Young Justice Outsiders, and Zack Snyder's supercut of Justice League. And now, the whole thing is also going to be broken into virtual rooms. When you first arrive there, you're going into what's called the Hall of Heroes. That's where most people are going to want to go in, hear all the big hero news and stuff like that. But then there's also going to be other sub-rooms that go around it. The DC Watchverse, where I guess you can go on to watch some stuff. The DCU-verse. The DC Kids verse, the DC Insiders verse, where you get people like Jim Lee, the head of DC live action production, Walter Hamada. This would be our first time to really get to hear from him, the new sheriff in town over at DC Pictures. The DC Funverse and all sorts of stuff. It is a 24-hour event that will be running all virtual all the time. Now, clearly, this is something they've probably decided to do in lieu of Comic-Con, which is perfectly good and perfectly fine, and we'll see how that all goes. Rob, this is an interesting idea for them to do, like going all virtual, doing all these things. I think it's great, but it does not replace, you know, for a lot of fans, being in the room, having Jason Momoa come out and hearing the crowd going wild and the excitement and the energy of the room. But obviously, that's not something they can do right now. Is this a decent replacement for that? How do you see this whole thing?
Well, you know, on one hand, I want to say, John, it's better than nothing. But, you know as well as I do, part of the excitement of Comic-Con is to wander around and see all the cosplayers and all the crazy dealers and all the stuff to buy. And yes, being in a room when, you know what?
Oh, Rob's thing is frozen. Give it a second. It's been free. He's been having Skype issues. He's back. You froze there for a second, Rob. You froze there for a second. So just repeat that last 10 seconds.
Well, one of my favorite experiences in life was when Tom Hiddleston came out dressed as Loki in Hall H.
Yeah.
You know, and my subjects and held up his hands, and it was insanity. And I'm like, you know, a virtual con's fun, you know, but it's not like it is when you're there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll hang out. You know, I'd do it.
I'm going to attend it. Yeah, but the problem here is though, it's nothing. Then it's nothing more than just watching pre-recorded press junkets. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Now, I want to give them a little bit more benefit of the doubt here. Like, I'm sure they're going to put a lot of work into it so it doesn't just feel like going onto YouTube and looking up a press junket interview. But that's my fear, is that this is just going to be a glorified press junket interview as opposed to live. But of course, what are they going to do? I mean, they can't do a live event right now. So I'm with your initial thought on this. It's better than nothing. I mean, at least they're trying something, right? But let me ask you this, Rob. What do you think it says about things that they're not just making this a part of the virtual Comic-Con? Because Comic-Con is doing the same thing. Comic-Con is having their own online virtual Comic-Con with virtual panels and things like that. What do you think about their decision to do this separately from that?
Well, I think, as you know, it's all about getting analytics, getting eyeballs so you can say, look, we did this. If you allow Comic-Con to do it, all of the prep and all that work that you're doing is basically being given away for free. And someone has to justify, like, who's paying for all this? And I think that doing something like this and having eyeballs on it, it becomes another revenue stream. It becomes another avenue to engage your own customer base. And I think we're going to see more and more of that. It's the same reason why everybody wants their own streaming services. Why are we giving away content material so somebody else can profit off it when we can do it ourselves and get all of those eyeballs directly on us? And I think we're going to see more of that, especially if we have to live in more of a virtual world. We're going to see a lot more of those things, I think.
All right. Well, it's a really interesting move by DC. It's not really something we've seen done before on this scale. What do you guys think about this? Like, if Comic-Con was going on, I would think this is really dumb. But there is no Comic-Con. There is no live event. Is this making the best of a bad situation? Do you think this could be really fun? Do you think it's going to be a disaster? What do you guys think about it? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.